In recent years, several area businesses, including Daltile, have either shut down or left New York altogether. Management at those companies have all said New York is a tough place to do business, given its tax structure and state utility surcharges, among other factors. Ms. Witt, you've stated during your tenure that you'd love to make Olean more conducive to business and see new jobs come into the city. Against the background of these state economics, what would you do in a second term to encourage growth in the private sector?
Thank you. I would do what we tried to do with Daltile. I would include our state, our county, and our state assembly person, Catherine Young, and our Assemblyman Joe Giulio, who were also involved with Daltile, trying to keep them. Unfortunately, Daltile was heading out of town for several years before it actually happened. I know this because my sister worked there for 40 years, and she repeatedly told me that the writing was on the wall, that it was just a matter of time before they left. Unfortunately, we couldn't save those jobs. And to me, I look at those folks and as a community, we have to feel. But going forward, sorry about that. Going forward, I think we have to work with companies. I think we have to work with the county. I think we have to work with the county ADA, who is now helping us with the Daltile property. But I don't think you can expect the city to change state laws. I think that's up to our state representatives. And so far, they haven't done that. I think there are a lot of things that New York State has to change. I think to hire people, there has to be a change in labor law. I think there's other laws that our state officials need to help us change. And I would hope that we could work with them to do so. But I think until you find a way to cut taxes, to make it more attractive to come here, we're not going to attract any large manufacturing. Luckily, over the past 4 years, we've attracted small manufacturers, and that's a start. But I really don't see our future with large manufacturing coming back here. I would love to be wrong. But I think the answer lies in the state level and revising some laws.
Thank you. Mr. Aleo, just to repeat the question a bit, it was how are you going to make, how would you encourage growth in the private sector in a state with such a harsh business environment?
Well, you know what, building a business is like building a campfire. Okay? You have the tender, small twigs, small sticks, and larger wood, built in the shape of a TV. Then you have a spark, which lights that tender and starts the large and larger wood burning. When you have a good burning fire, you can put the big logs on it. Before long, you have a lot of coal, and this will keep things burning. Well, that's like starting a business. It's very similar. You have the ideas for the production service. You find people to invest, hire employees, purchase materials and equipment, and make product or products as their service. Okay? We need entrepreneurs and investors in Olean. We need to get the manufactured Hanover building and areas around it developed. We need more parking downtown. We need smaller businesses like Mallory's Auto Body and Napoleon Engineers. We need those businesses that are going to hire 5, 10, 15, 20 people at better paying jobs. We're on the right track right now with JCC is putting in a technical center, and they're going to move to train people so that Dresser Industries can keep the engineers here, the machinists, that they can keep the welders here. So we're on the right track. We have to start out, we're on the right track there. But keeping business in Olean, keeping business in New York State, our governor has been trotting that New York State is open for business. What does that mean? Okay, I agree. We need law changes within the state. Okay? We need economic development that's going to work. The red tape involved with people trying to develop businesses is just astronomical in New York State. That has to be streamlined. And we can only accomplish that through keep pushing, keep going forward, keep working towards it, keep our state politicians hold them to the fire. and keep building that. Let's move forward in Olean.
Thank you. Ms. Witt, any follow-up thoughts?
Sure. I'm glad we have a fire department. I think the one thing that I heard Mr. Aleo talk about, it's great to build a fire, but I think the thing that we're missing is attracting people. We have lots of jobs. We don't have people that are equipped to take those jobs. Part of that is our young people aren't choosing to go into engineering. They're not choosing to use math skills. And that's something that is basic fundamentals that we have to change. I am very proud to be very supportive of the Dream It, Do It. Chris Napoleon came to us my first year as mayor when he was opening his factory, and he had an idea. And this is all over the state to do this, but we have to have our young kids want to stay. They want to, and they have to know that manufacturing jobs aren't the jobs they used to be. They're not the jobs where dad comes home and he's all dirty and he's, he's just overworked and just at his wit's end. The jobs in manufacturing now are totally different, and we have to educate our kids about that. And I think we are doing a good job in manufacturing with that program. I agree with Mr. Aleo too. I think it's great that JCC received $500,000 from the county to help put that training center in, which is going to help train not only people to do those jobs, but people to supervise those people doing that job. The last thing I want to point out, the whole reason behind renovating and sprucing up and fixing North Union Street is to attract people to downtown. I do a lot of recruiting dinners with my husband for the medical group. And one of the things people will say, when you get off of 16 and you come into Olean, all it is blacktop. It looks like an airplane takeoff, an airplane can take off from there. It's cold, it's not friendly, and how do you attract people that are qualified when they don't want to live here? So if we fix that problem, I think it's going to go a long ways to fix the other problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Aleo, follow-up thoughts?
Yes, keeping our children here. Yes, that has been the question, how do we keep our children here, and what do we have for them here? So we have to start out, we have to start out baby steps. We really haven't been doing that. So let's start baby steps, let's move forward, let's hope and pray that the North Union Street project revitalizes the downtown area and makes it attractive. If you look at the grant and you read the measurable outcomes, they're pretty aggressive. And I hope we meet all those outcomes. I don't have the answers on how to keep our kids here. I don't think anybody does. Most of you have kids. Most of them went away to college. Most of them had their opportunities coming out of college. We have to make those opportunities here, and we have to again bring Olean back to what it once was. Thank you.